The Securities and Exchange Commission has issued proposed guidelines on initial coin offerings, or ICOs, in the Philippines to keep pace with startups exploring this new method of raising funds. BusinessWorld's Arra Francia joins us live from Quezon City to tell us more. Arra, ICOs really represent uncharted territory, not just here, but around the world. What are the important provisions in the draft circular?
Yes, Robbie. Well, what the SEC wants to do with this draft circular is they want to regulate startups or companies who want to conduct ICOs here in the country. Before this draft circular, currently there isn't actually any clear-cut guidelines on how companies can go about these ICOs. The SEC just followed the general definition on what securities are based on the Securities and Regulation Code. Now, with this draft circular, they want ICOs, which are basically when a company issues tokens to the investing public in exchange for cash, cryptocurrencies, or other assets in the goal to raise money for their expansion plans. What the SEC wants to do is to keep a two-step process for their registration. The first is an initial assessment on the issuer, where they will determine whether the securities they will be issuing are security tokens or tokens which are directly related to the growth of the company. Now, once the SEC decides that these are security tokens, they will proceed to the second step, which is the registration proper. Here, the issuer will submit a prospectus, much like when a company goes through an initial public offering to become listed at the stock exchange. They will tell the SEC how much funds they want to raise, the target investors they want, the proceeds of the issuance, and so on.
Okay, how do these proposed policies compare to guidelines drawn up for other countries?
Well, right now, in all over the world, there is a very different approach to ICOs. The environment actually ranges from friendly to cautious to outright hostility. For instance, in Singapore, the regulatory bodies there are actually much friendlier, which is why some companies who have Filipino officials have actually decided to conduct ICOs in Singapore because they have clear-cut regulations there. The same can be said about Switzerland, Luxembourg, Estonia, and Lithuania. In the United States, there are different rules depending on the states where you're in, but the SEC chief there said that he is actually more cautious on how ICOs are conducted, while in China, there is actually a ban right now on companies who want to conduct ICOs.
Okay, thank you very much, Arra Francia, joining us from the BusinessWorld headquarters in Quezon City.